for our final project, we made a piano robot. Originally, we had wanted to be 4 fingers, collectively 1 hand, but to play different halves of the keyboard. Unforeseen problems. My color sensor stopped working, so today we're only going to demo like 1 part of the hand. So 2 fingers, and it's just going to play 3 notes. So it's going to go from G to A to G. So I basically want to talk about just the basics of notes, like if you don't know how to read music or you don't know about pianos. So the starting position on my keyboard is C. So you go from C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then you roll into the next octave. So I set up a constructor called note that holds a string S in a position. So let's say you start from C, so you put in note C, 0. And then from that we constructed an array, which Bookie is going to talk about after me. And basically when you set it up, I would call the play method. The play method would have 4 parameters, which would be the note array, the array of note objects, string S, the length, which is a double, because sometimes you want to play 8th notes, and a flag called SFs for sharps and flats. So if you want to play a sharp or flat, the movement's going to be different, and the angle of rotation for the finger is going to be different. So when our hands were supposed to, or our hand was supposed to play together with 2 bots, I was originally going to use Bluetooth, but it wasn't very consistent. So in my code, I'd written something similar to play, and whatever the length was, let's say you play for 4 beats, so that's about 4 seconds. So I would tell the next bot to sleep for 4,000 milliseconds. And then play, and then whatever the length was, sleep for that amount of milliseconds. And that's all I have to say, and Bookie's going to take it from here.
Okay, I'm just pretty much going to go through the evolution of the program. Originally, Lindsey had started out with a 2D array that would have, because her piano has 5 octaves and 1 random C at the end. And so she would have a 2D array of all the different octaves and all the notes within the octave. But then, that was a lot of work. So I suggested a 1D array of only the notes within the octave that would have the name of the note and its distance within the octave. And then while we were calling the play method, we'd simply specify what octave we wanted, and we'd multiply it by that distance of the note within the octave. So if we wanted to play like D, which was, or okay, let's say E,
D
which
was 1, E is 2, so that would be
on
like,
the 2nd octave.
Yeah.
It would be more like,
we'd still be in 0 octaves, so it'd be 0 and 2, 0 for the octave and 2 for the position of the key. If you're in the 0 octave, we're starting from 0.
oh, I meant like if we wanted to go to the 2nd octave and play that D,
yeah,
simply do a multiplication instead of playing it at the 1st octave. And then it just kept on growing.
That wasn't very precise.
No, it was
That's
not.
it. Originally I wanted to have a pilot and say travel this distance, but it wasn't precise every time for centimeters. So Dr. Chen suggested color coding the board. Very similar to what Robert and Sean did. We have black and white. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
But yeah, we have the black and white. If you can see, it kind of looks like the piano right here. But we wanted to do something where we'd only mark like the sharp keys, and we'd simply travel to the white key that we wanted and move until we found a color for the sharp key, and we just move to that color and play. But then that didn't work out, and then I suggested coding every single note a different color, and that didn't work out either. Or I mean, I knew it wouldn't work out because it didn't work out for them. So so we decided to go with black and white and simply just mark everything and use the positions of the different notes to decide what we would do.
I set up a while loop, and I said, basically I set just an iterator, and I called it M, I think some random name like that. And then I said, I told it to go for it, told the motor to go for it, but if it wasn't equal to black, to stop, increment M, and then move to the next black key, and then it would go forward again and move to the next white key. So it would count the number of white keys you encountered with the iterator. So I said if M was, or while M was not equal to position, so it would stop and then rotate the finger. And then if it had to go backwards, because sometimes you have to go backwards on the piano, I decremented the counter for M and told it to go backwards.
So we built a track.
So we
put
built
color
a track.
sensors.
And we had 2 color sensors. Now we have 1 color sensor.
And 2 fingers.
And 2 fingers. So I'm just gonna, I don't know if you guys can see. There's no good angle except for Dr. Chen. But it's supposed to go from G to A back to G. Didn't turn it on. It would probably help if I turned it on.
Do the choir voice.
What number is it?
39.
You like the choir voice. So it just goes from G to A to G. Because if I programmed a whole song, that would take a very long time for it to travel along the whole keyboard, but it does play individual notes.
So it can keep growing.
Yeah, it can keep growing. It can play a whole song.
So
if I would put it in there.
30 notes for you.
Sorry. And that's it.